So with the Houston Rockets getting eliminated for the playoffs, I got a bunch of things I really want to say about them. Number one is they did a great job trying to hold LeBron. And I'm going to see what they need to do next season to really, how I put this, contend for the playoffs next year. This is in general my opinion on what they need to do. And later, if you don't know, this is going to be a new channel for me called Common 6 Talks, where I talk NBA and NFL. Mike D'Antoni, you're a great coach, but not for Houston right now. Now, I get that he wants to stay and stuff, and Bleacher Report has said that they might fire him, but that isn't the best decision. Now, I talked with the kid Gowie, great guy. He said that it's not technically, I believe some of the stuff that happened isn't technically his fault. Maybe the organization, which could be true.
In terms of winning championships, I don't think that style is ever going to win championships. But at the same time, you have to keep your team's head above water to win games. So you have to do what you have to do to win games, and he's doing that, right? Now, I think...
So are you saying you don't think James Harden and the Rockets, as constructed, can win a title?
Not with this style of play, it won't win, right? With one player dominating the ball. Now, when you have Chris Paul...
Said Chris Paul, but I added that. Now, I won't agree with this, what Kobe Bryant said. This is true, because in general, Harden is a good player. Great player. But his problem is that he doesn't know how to work with a number 2 or number 3. Now, let's talk about him and Chris Paul. Him and them were, they were seeing not eye to eye. And I get why they wanted to happen. But Harden's not just a great leader, and that may be his downfall. If you're not a good enough leader and you're the star player of the team, how are you supposed to win? Now, in general, I think Russell Westbrook is the better leader than James Harden. Because that's my personal opinion. James Harden has been on the Rockets for a bunch of years. He's made them only past the first round and second rounds. I mean, his first year there, they got to the playoffs, and they lost to the OKC Thunder, which is kind of was going to happen. But Harden has not been able to win championships because, he doesn't know how to get along with players. Like, okay, let me show you another thing that really happened. Now, you won't believe, but these dudes were on the team. And how do I put this to y'all? If I'm going to really be honest with y'all, I wonder whatever happened to that team in the playoffs.
Foul to give for Houston. 9/10 left. A 3 wins the series.
Oh, that's what happened. Yeah, like I said before, that's what really happened to, this team right here. They won round 1 of the playoffs by Damian Lillard pulling the biggest story of his life in Dwight Howard. He never seen anything like it. But I love Russell Westbrook as a number 2. But he is not the perfect player for James. He is a good player that can play with James Harden as a number 2. But you're adding 2 ball-dominant players. I don't like this trade because of this reason. You have 2 ball-dominant players who play on different teams, have separate coaches, and will have to change their style of play. Now, sometimes it does work like the Shaq and Kobe thing. But when you're adding Russell Westbrook, a player who doesn't take a 3, a player who really doesn't use his skills right. But the player I really want them to have is Kevin Love. Now, the reason why is, now I can say you trade Eric Gordon, but the reason why I want him is, number 1, he can do things that Russell Westbrook can't do as a number 3. Pull the 3. He's the best player to pull a 3, and you're having you a good position. You're having you a power forward in the form of Kevin Love who can pull a 3, which most power forwards don't usually do. And that would kind of help your team in general with effectiveness. And while Russell Westbrook can take it to the rim, James Harden can be pulling 3s from court. That can definitely help y'all. I didn't feel like the best trade was trading CP3 though, because you need a leader. And now that this team has a player who's actually won a title, that will help them. So yeah, if you have a player who's won a championship, which the Rockets didn't have, this kind of has helped them. Now, also in my other opinion, he can go inside more. That will definitely help the Rockets on different opinions of because, they don't have players that go inside more, and James Harden has kind of disimproved. Which I'll get into later in the video, which is about to end quick. So yeah, I couldn't find no good footage of Harden doing stuff, but this is the one I could find of OKC. He's kind of disapproved from what it was. I don't feel like showing Rockets highlights, but he kind of disapproved from what he was, where he could do dunks and all that stuff going on. But now he doesn't want to do that no more. He totally goes for the foul line. He was 81% in OKC, which I can get why I dropped to 70 now, but still going on more. His problem was that when he finally became a leader, he's just trying to get to a foul line and try to do step back 3s instead of trying to actually do some hard work. Again, what he said by Giannis, that takes no skill at all. It's taking you no skill. It's taking you a little bit of skill to get to a foul line. But what he has done is basically nothing really to help this team, like Russell Westbrook or Kevin Love would up. His problem, like I said before, was when he was with OKC, he was a passer. He could do all that stuff. That's why he was a number 3 for the team, even though he could be a number 1. And the reason why they didn't think of it as a bad trade yet was still because James Harden was on the bench. He wasn't doing as much as they wanted him to do. So going up next season, that's when it changed around. And when he went to the Houston Rockets, he became better. And I'm not going to blame them for saying that. It's not the best trade still, but when James Harden was the number 3, he did a little bit of work with the number 1 and the number 2. Kevin Durant number 2, number 1 actually, and Russell Westbrook number 2 and him number 3. Now, him a number 1 is not going to work really. Yeah, to end the video, James Harden's a good number 1. But in situations that come to you really winning the championship, he can't do it that way. With Mike D'Antoni and Russell Westbrook, he needs the number 3 to do this all. And that is just their biggest problem that the Rockets need to fix, and using small ball to get rid of Capella was okay, but it kind of affect them a little bit. But also going on getting Mike D'Antoni wasn't the right trade choice. But to end the video, what I said before though is these were the main problem with the Houston Rockets. Now can they change? Yes, by firing Mike D'Antoni, by getting the number 3 like Kevin Love. And that's really what they need to actually win a lot more. But that's all I really gotta say right now. But in my opinion, that's what the Houston Rockets need to do, whether they want to win or not. Or if they really want to win, they're gonna need to trade some players that have been with them for this long time. Like Austin Rivers would be the perfect trade to get at least Kevin Love over there, or Eric Gordon. Like literally, them players could have been traded to easily get the best fit for them, and that would have been the best trade that happened. But this season was kind of a okay but still bad season. They took 2 wins against the Lakers regular season. Come postseason, they were 2 up, then lose a couple games, and OKC almost actually beat the Rockets. And I wouldn't be sad if OKC beat the Rockets, because OKC was the better team that series though. And that's how I'm going to end the video today on Common 6 Talks.